everyone, it's Lee, and I hope you're all doing well. Today with this video, I'm going to do something a little different than I normally do. I'd like to do something a little more raw this time. Yeah, just something a little different. All the things I talk about are very personal to me. They're things that have helped me, and that's the reason, I'm doing this channel. So yeah, I'd like to talk about a quick personal story of mine, some bits I hope someone else can relate to. It won't be as focused and as my normal videos are and normally will be. So I hope that's okay. I hope you can forgive me for some weird stuff, or if anything's just off, just bear with me a little bit. People that know me really well will know, and people that don't know me very well may find it really surprising. And anytime I've told this to someone who has not known, they've seemed pretty surprised. One of the big issues I had as a kid was I had a lot of anger issues. Not necessarily like super young, but definitely when I was in middle school and a little bit in high school. I definitely had some problems. And when you're that age and you're dealing with something, there really is, you cannot do it on your own. Normal teenagers have problems. They have emotional problems. They have all kinds of problems. I mean, they're beginning to get a little grip on the world and realizing that everything is so much bigger and that they have no control, and that they want to get out and explore past what's been given to them, because they're also understanding that there's so much more than what they've been given and what they've seen. And this isn't all conscious, it's sort of all back there though. It feels like what's around you isn't necessarily real, and you need to get out and see what's real. It's a bit false, and they don't know that everything next to you could be the most important thing. Especially if that's your family, and your family's been good to you, and things have been pretty well. But I digress. I definitely had some anger issues, and specifically some anger management issues. And as a teenager, as a middle schooler, as a teenager, I did not know what the heck to do about it. And it's not something you're gonna bring up to your folks and talk to them about. I didn't really even know that I specifically wasn't controlling that emotion really well. I didn't know until maybe like high school, like freshman year of high school. I became cognizant, and I don't know if that was an age thing or just sort of experiencing it for a while, or sort of the negative feedback I was getting for how, I was this little guy, big glasses, pretty skinny. That was basically true up through elementary and middle school. And around the time of, middle school, it's like, it gets tough, because before then, like, most people aren't really bigger than you. Like, if they are, it's not that much, and even so, like, with the right attitude, it doesn't matter. When I got to middle school, your same defensive mechanisms don't work. I couldn't just fight somebody. I couldn't just turn and hit somebody, because the guys were getting bigger than me, like all of them. And that's a big deal. It's such a big deal. You start to feel like the small fish in the small pond with a bunch of big fish. And there's just weird like biological things that are happening. And you intrinsically sort of know these things. Like, your status when you're that age. It's when you really start to see it. And it's all that difference between everybody that causes that. The point, everything starts clicking, and you go, whoa. And that was definitely a big cause. That was definitely a big cause for the issues. And it would manifest in, me yelling at people that didn't deserve it, family included. Sometimes I'd be physical with family. We were always a pretty physical family. We were roughhousers. We would wrestle and fight all the time. But sometimes it wasn't play, especially when I got angry and just let it go. That was tough, By freshman year, I started realizing like it wasn't okay, and it didn't stop it, but I started to recognize it. And to anybody out there who is experiencing an issue, the biggest first step you can do is to recognize what you're doing. If you don't know something's happening, like genuinely, you can't do anything about it. So fair enough. There are people who have that. They have conditions that they actually don't know about. You can't address a problem you don't know you have. If you know you're having some sort of issue and you can't pin it down, you need to seek help to find it. Make sure it comes from somewhere you trust. And for adults, it's like you generally know when something's off. you know when things aren't right. You know when you're acting a way that isn't okay, or a way that you don't want to act. You can tell when something's wrong with you because you'll see in other people that that's not true. It's not always a sign that something's bad. Like if you're a unique, very creative, special person, like, okay, not everybody's gonna have. Talking more pathological things, like what I'm talking about with anger issues. If you know you have it, or that something is wrong, and the key is to acknowledge that something is wrong, and to tell yourself that it's okay, as long as you genuinely pursue a solution. You don't need to know what the solution is, but you need to genuinely, of course I could, but I was too scared and too afraid of like what I would do if I had to face people and face it. It was totally the wrong way to go, and should have owned up, sought proper help from family, friends, maybe something professional. It's okay. I never have. I've never done anything like that. It's worked out, but I don't recommend it for everybody. And perhaps it's taken much longer to solve my problems by myself than it would have with others, specifically maybe like professional help in my case. Let me know in the YouTube comments below if you think this format works. I'll probably do some videos like this anyway, but I wouldn't want to do too many of these videos if they don't work for as many people. And if you have any constructive criticism or any praise, put something like that in the YouTube comments. Anything you got would be great.